All right. So thanks for welcoming me on stage again. I'm glad to be here. Today I'll be talking about the disruptive potential of wallet messaging. And I say disruptive because I feel like wallets have been focused so much on the financial applications. And yes, NFTs kind of brought a little social aspect to wallets, but it's still not there what I believe it's going to be the actual impact that wallets will bring. If you didn't see my opening ceremony, I'm Pedro, like founder and CEO of WalletConnect, the company that has brought this event together and all of these wallets. And I hope to convince wallets to actually change how wallets work and introducing messaging, which we're building at WalletConnect. We started back in 2018 with a simple mission of connecting wallets all over the world. Like thousands of wallets exist, and they all operated slightly different. So bringing a way of having open interoperability was really important. But then what we ended up having is that we have this network of wallets all operating under the same infrastructure. And that's quite powerful because we were able to convince all of these competitors to use the same SDK for WalletConnect V1. And that's something that is not really easy to do, and it took 5 years to get us where we are here. And now with WalletConnect V2, we're basically taking a step further. If you actually have this infrastructure in place, what can we do? Let's leverage these network effects to actually bring something new to wallets other than just tokens and NFTs and signing transactions. So the next step for the interoperability, in my opinion, is now that we establish these connections, how can we actually bridge communications to all of these wallets? In order to do that, we have to start thinking about what a wallet could be rather than what a wallet is. Like, I think people get a little stuck in the idea of a wallet. And sometimes people tell me, like, it shouldn't even be called a wallet. Like, we should call it like a passport. And I'm like, well, it's not really a great description. Like, if you have a physical wallet, like a leather wallet or a purse, you have loyalty cards, you have travel passes, you have maybe some national ID, you have credit cards that give access to accounts. I think wallet is actually the correct analogy, but I just don't think that Web3 wallets today have actually fulfilled the actual experience that the physical wallet has. Like, we have the credit cards version in Web3 wallets, and now we even have like the NFTs. But what about the identity components and all of the other things that make a true wallet? For me, a wallet is a gateway to Web3. Like, you cannot get started in Web3 without a wallet. Like, it's just impossible. Like, if you do so, then you're using a custodial system. And I actually hate when I see exchanges calling themselves wallets, because it's really confusing for users, because at the end of the day, they're just bank accounts. You know, they have full control over the assets, and they have full control over the private keys. Sometimes there's not even private keys involved. You know, it's like it's complete charade. So wallet is a gateway to Web3 because you have self-custodial over a private key that controls an account that is represented in a blockchain. And that's what essentially defines a wallet. But it also kind of ends up building this digital passport. Every action that you do on Ethereum or any blockchain kind of builds around this address. And this address is very powerful because, especially if you attach it to like some domain system like ENS, now you can have like your name associated with an address that has some activity, has some assets. And this actually becomes just as powerful as when, I don't know, like when iPhone added like Apple Wallet to their iPhones. And then you have like all of this activity, right? You know, you have the identity, you have the control, and you also have essentially an overview, right? If you go to dApps, like let's say Uniswap is going to give you activity about swaps. They don't care about anything else. If you go to OpenSea, they're going to show you stuff about NFTs. But in your wallet, you can have an overview of everything that you've done in Web3, like a true hub for all of your identity and activity in one app. Essentially, I think what we're going to end up having is like this idea of a super app has been kind of hypothesized for so long, and sometimes like maybe like WeChat kind of envisioned, built that, but it was centralized. A wallet should be the decentralized super app, but it's still missing something though. What would actually propel the next evolution for the wallet experience? And in my opinion, is making it more engaging, more interactive, and more social. I think it's kind of a little bland, the experience, a little isolated as well. Like your wallet is in your phone or it's in your computer and has no correlation with anyone else. You kind of, if you think about it, like it's really nice that we do these conferences because we get to bump into each other and see like, oh, your PFP, this is your real face, like you actually get this engaging and social experience from the conferences. And I think that's what keeps us going, right? Because a lot of the crypto folks go to a lot of conferences because we want to put a face to all of the stuff that's happening on chain. But we have to remember there's like maybe like 95% of people are actually not going to conferences and they're just like sitting on their computer all by themselves with like a wallet and completely isolated. They actually might lose interest because there's no social graph associated with it. And it's great to see projects like Lens and Farcaster building social graphs around identity, but it's still kind of isolated from the wallet itself. So I think what we can fix is with wallet messaging. And at WalletConnect, we like to think of wallet messaging in two formats, in push notifications and wallet-to-wallet chat. Push notifications is defined as broadcasting one message to many participants, but only in one direction. So this could see, like, for example, a dApp notifying all of its users that met some conditions about some relevant event. And then you have wallet-to-wallet chat, which is more a peer-to-peer experience. Like if you know Alice and Bob wants to talk to Alice, then you will just directly message. Right now, in order to do that, you would need to correlate your wallet identity with some Telegram, which, like that's why like people on Twitter put like their ENS name on their username. They're trying to kind of like bridge this Web3 experience with existing social graphs rather than build it directly into the wallet. So how are we tackling this? So push notifications is essentially what's going to drive more engagement. There's a lot of churn right now in Web3 where people might play around with some app or some wallet and kind of like just drop it. Also because, it's not very engaging in itself, but also because there's no way for a dApp to actually re-engage with a user. If you visit, let's say, a Mirror, and then you created a blog post and you NFT'd that blog post, how can I now tell someone from Mirror that someone engaged with your NFT, or maybe someone even bid? They want to own. They liked your blog post so much, they want to own it. There's absolutely no way to do that. That's why people add email addresses, even ENS, which is probably one of the best in terms of like decentralization projects. They give you like a ability to add your email so they can notify you if your ENS is going to expire. That just feels wrong, right? Because we're kind of building on top of the email identity, which is very Web 2, when we already have these wallet identities. So with push notifications, we can build something on top of WalletConnect, which is still end-to-end encrypted, just like all of our protocols. And it allows you to create these on-chain and off-chain event reminders directly into your wallet. I like to think of it almost as a third-party dApp notifications. So wallets already have notifications, but it's almost like a generalized notification about like certain transaction activity. But then dApp's going to be a little bit more curated and give you something about either on-chain or off-chain that it's much better than the wallet can do. Like wallets won't be able to build notifications for every single dApp out there. But having this ability of building push notifications for third parties allows users to choose to subscribe to dApps for particular notifications. And it's essentially creating just a distribution channel directly into wallets. And that way we completely change how the Web3 UX is. There's more user engagement, both for the dApp and for the wallet. Like, it's a win-win situation. The dApp gets more interactions because they have more returning users. The wallet has more interactions because the users are now signing more transactions than they're returning. And we are even unleashing more use cases. A lot of the times we're kind of blocked because either you have to create a Discord to keep that engagement with your community, or you have to create a Telegram channel. But ideally, you don't want to be listening to everything. Like, push notifications is a better experience because you are able to create a distribution to only have curated notifications, not listening to Telegram, a bunch of people chatting all day long about stuff that you don't care. So here's the push architecture that we designed. If you're familiar with WalletConnect, we have a wallet and we have a dApp, and then there's a relay. And this is essentially how WalletConnect works today. We build on top of that by adding two different services. One is the echo server that essentially acts almost as a watchman that listens for all of the relay messages and then replicates them in the Firebase or Apple push notification system, and then it will trigger the user to go back into the wallet and fetch the new messages. This is something that we already had in V1, but we improved it in V2 dramatically by having end-to-end encryption happening through the Firebase as well. And the new thing that we added was the cast server. So the cast server essentially acts almost as a firewall. The wallet has given permission to the dApp to actually push notifications, but it's the cast server who actually controls whether those push notifications should be sent. And you have a certain amount of conditions, like, for example, some notification types. So you say, like, I, as a user, only want to receive, like, let's say on snapshot DAO proposals, right? I don't care about the other notifications. So the cast server is able to identify that, like, if the dApp wants to send anything other than what the user has authorized it, then the cast server would protect it. And then the cast would publish in the relay network, and the echo server would be able to observe it. However, we are just a distribution channel. There's something more that needs to be built. Like, no matter how much capacity WalletConnect grows as a company and as a protocol, we need to build like this user relationship layer, but we are not going to take that effort. That's why we believe that notifier services are very important. And we've worked together with a company called Wherever, who's actually building this and has actually thought about this very early on last year. And they've been working really hard with some partners to build it. So I invite Amos to the stage to actually talk about Wherever.
Thank you. Thank you, Pedro. Super excited to be here and to partner with WalletConnect and help wallets kind of take a big step forward towards becoming a super app. But first, a couple of words about Wherever. So we're a Web3 native messaging infrastructure company. And basically, we're building towards a user-owned intranet where users have complete control over their inbox and can communicate with anyone from wherever. We provide both dApps and wallets with the tools to power Web3 native communication experiences. And where's the clicker? Here, amazing. Great, and so the partnership with WalletConnect is really focused around leveraging Web3 native push notifications. Now, for dApps, we offer them the ability to send the right message to the right user at the right time using our personalized broadcasting studio. So basically, just sending timely notifications based on users' on-chain and off-chain activity, or sending targeted campaigns based on the user's ownership, for example. Now, from the wallet side of things, we provide them with communication passports that enable them to provide their users with a spamless experience and have complete control over their inbox. Communication passports basically unify all of the connections that the user have subscribed to using WalletConnect, and then enable them in a granular way to change their preferences and unsubscribe if necessary. Now, let's take a quick look. How does that work? Awesome. Over there. Great. So imagine that you're a CowSwap user and you're about to place your first limit order. Now, decentralized limit orders are quite exciting, but they have just one minor setback. They are executed when the user is away. And so CowSwap has turned to push notifications to solve this challenge. And basically, as you can see here, when the user finishes to place his limit order and signs with his wallet and everything, after placing your limit order and having some minor setbacks, as we all used to in Web3, so basically you are prompted with a message on the CowSwap app to get alerts on your open orders, right? So you can get alerts on order executed and even subscribe to protocol updates. Now, this prompt message can be easily triggered using our API or using our embeddable widget. It can be configured to support any use case. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Now, when the user wants to approve and actually subscribe to those messages, they connect with WalletConnect. Basically, what they're required to is to sign a message and to establish a connection between CowSwap and their own wallet, right? So what's amazing here is that user consent is actually required in the protocol layer itself. Big move towards user control. Now, that's amazing. And after giving permission to Cow to send me messages to my wallet, I continue out with my day. And imagine I read a fascinating article about how 2023 will be the year of wallet-to-wallet messaging. And all of a sudden, I get a push notification from my wallet app. Amazing, my limit order have been successfully executed. I click on that notification, and it directs me to my inbox inside of the wallet, where I can see all the notifications I got and get more context on that specific notification. When I click on it, the call to action deep link takes me to CowSwap app to get more context on my limit order. Now, that's actually an opportunity for re-engagement for Cow, right? After having successful experience placing my first limit order, this notification could take me to actually place another limit order. But what happens if a DApp I subscribe to is no longer relevant? Or maybe even worse, start sending me spammy messages. So fear not, unsubscribing is just one click away. When basically I click on that notification, I go into my inbox and I can open my communication passport. And there I have kind of like a unified view of all my connections to all the different dApps that I've given consent to. And with just one click, I can unsubscribe from SpamDAO. Now, before I finish, I'd love to leave you with some food for thought. Up until today, wallets played a critical role in establishing deeper connections between dApps and their existing users. But imagine, what if wallets could actually help with user acquisition, could actually become Web3 main source of user acquisition? What happened if wallets could help users discover new dApps, discover new experiences and new communities? Imagine. Awesome. If you want to imagine that more thoroughly and actually join our beta program, so reach out to us at hello@wherever-I-am and join our partner program with WalletConnect.
Thank you, Amos. And this is exactly the vision that we have shared with Wherever, where we've built the distribution channel for push notifications, and Wherever is building the user relationships from the dApp, all with the self-custodial control that the user always is in charge of which notifications to receive. If you think about mobile apps today, without push notifications, it would be almost impossible to have a great user experience. Why is Web3 any different? And as we talked about, wallet messaging is not just about push notifications. We also have wallet-to-wallet chat. This is something that we actually presented back in July, our chat API. However, we wanted to take a step further. We have this SDK available. Hackers have been building on it during multiple hackathons like ETH Berlin and ETH Bogota, and hopefully at ETH Denver as well. But we wanted to kind of curate the experience a little bit better to see what it would look like to have a wallet-to-wallet chat, something that infuses more utility and enhances the Web3 identity directly into your wallet. And why wait for wallets to integrate their own interfaces? We should build it ourselves. So it's time to level up the wallet experience. With wallet-to-wallet chat and push notifications, we're introducing Web3 Inbox, where Web3 communicates. This is a single interface for all of your push notifications and all of your wallet-to-wallet chat built directly into your wallet. No longer you have to build on top of our SDK and have your own interface. We will provide you with an interface that you can have directly built. But we're not just going to build it as an SDK. We also have a standalone app. So it's going to look like a Web3 Inbox web app, and it's also going to look like a Web3 Inbox SDK embedded into your wallet. So you have the choice. If your wallet does not support Web3 Inbox directly into the wallet, you can just visit the Web3 Inbox app. And here's a quick preview of what that would look like. Say hello to Web3 Inbox. So you can see that using your ENS, you can chat and transact. And you have this experience that you're used to on Telegram, but you can exchange and have transactions directly into your chat. But it's a little bit more than that. Like Amos has presented the ability of having an inbox directly into your wallet. So you see here we have the chat interface and the push notification interface built together within the Web3 inbox. And this is the web view as you would do in desktop, but this will also be available directly into your wallet. So if you want to have early access to the Web3 inbox, you can go now to web3inbox.com. You can sign up with your ENS name and also add an email address so that you can be notified. In the future, hopefully no email address necessary. We will be able to notify you about all of our product updates with ENS alone. So for now, you will have to enter your email for that, or you can just follow us on Twitter at WalletConnect.com. And as Amos also said, like we are running a pilot partner program, both for the wallet chat and the wallet notifications. So if you're interested in having WebG Inbox SDK directly into your wallet, or if you have any ideas of how we can build a more engaging and social experience for wallets, reach us out at partnerships@walletconnect.com. We want to hear from you. We want to build this future together. That's what WalletConnect is all about, improving the user experience and working together to bring the first billion users. So thank you so much. This was the potential disruptive wallet messaging, and I look forward to talk to you all.
Hi, thanks for the talk. I have a couple sort of related questions. I'm wondering how you guys are thinking about integrating like Web 2 components into all of this. Like something like APNS, for example, is for the foreseeable future going to be an inevitable part of push notifications, right? So are we going to like build modules that talk to those Web 2 components and the rest of this is on Web 3? Or are we just trying to move everything to Web 3? And then following on from then, like how are we thinking about throughput and capacity if we're building all the infrastructure on Web 3? Like, gas fees are on sending messages. Like, is that an issue? Like, how are we thinking about all that?
So that's a great question. The way we envision our architecture is that Echo and Cost servers are centralized by design. So you can hook up an Echo server to any relay node, but there will be multiple relay nodes. So essentially inheriting the decentralization from having a mesh network of relay nodes, but then anyone can actually choose to have their own Echo server. Right now, with our wallet partners, we have, I would say, like a 50-50 ratio of some of the Echo servers are run by WalletConnect Cloud, and some of them are self-hosted by the actual wallets. And it does not change the experience whatsoever. It's designed to run against the relay network regardless of where you actually host the Echo server. And then that relationship can be built with the APNS through the Echo server. It almost acts as a second firewall to the relay network.
All right, we got time for one more question.
Hey, Pedro. Thank you for that presentation. I just have a quick question around the messaging aspect of things. So WalletConnect Chat, you guys are integrating with wallets and stuff. That's great. When it comes to sort of wallet-to-wallet messaging that exists kind of right now with like XMTP or like Status Waku or Push Chat, are there any efforts to have a interoperable standard between those? Because you think about like the users on Leinster, and with this, is there sort of interoperability that's going to be there eventually, or like if this is going to be in all the wallets, this is going to...
Yeah, that's a good question. And honestly, we've talked to XMTP a lot about this. I think that there's one core feature in all of this, and it's the relay network, right? At the end of the day, this is what binds all of the WalletConnect protocols together. But then again, like the actual SDKs who actually encode and decode the messages operate very differently. Like the same way I would say that WalletConnect SDKs could be built on top of the XMTP network. The XMTP SDKs also could be built on top of the WalletConnect network. So it's more of a matter of time to see how these evolve. I think like the market for Web3 messaging is so small right now that there's no winners. And we will see eventually how these evolve. And who knows, maybe Waku, XMTP, and WalletConnect all converge into the same network. But I think the differentiating factor here is, can we agree on how the messages are relayed. That's the most important part. The actual SDK stuff is kind of like nitpicking. It's not really that important. Like we do it one way, tomorrow we do it in another way. The relay network is the core part in here.